A boy is transported to another world for the second time and finds himself in the middle of another war. As Yuki daydreams in class, his childhood friend Yui begins to pester him. He tries to dismiss her, not wanting any strange rumors to start, but she persists, and to some extent, he doesn't mind. As Yuki's mind drifts off into thoughts of the other world, darkness suddenly engulfs the entire school, and a magic circle appears in the middle of the classroom. Despite the chaos, Yuki is familiar with this type of magic and can't help but smile. The class finds themselves transported to another world, and they are surrounded by a barren landscape that leaves them all feeling bewildered. However, for Yuki, this turn of events is welcomed as it promises some excitement. Suddenly, the students hear thuds, indicating that something big is approaching them. Multiple gigantic, full-armored demons emerge and make their way towards the students, indicating that they are not friendly. The students realize they must flee, and as they begin to dash away, Yuki remains calm. As the demons attack, Yui tries to shield Yuki from an incoming blow. But to her surprise, Yuki defends them both with just a flick of his finger, sending the demon flying. Yui is amazed at Yuki's apparent knowledge of magic, but they have no time to discuss it further. Instead, Yuki grabs Yui's hand, and they run away from the creatures, with Yui blushing at the sudden contact. As they run, soldiers appear from the direction they're heading, charging past them to engage the demonic creatures in battle. The soldiers' attacks have no effect on the demons, but they are accompanied by mages using bombarding spells to distract the demons while the soldiers advance. The students have been summoned into the middle of a full-scale war between demons and humans. Yuki is puzzled, as the wars were supposed to have ended by now. He senses a strange magic, a curse emanating from the demons. The feeling is familiar, unmistakably. As Yuki and Yui escape the chaotic battle, a royal knight approaches them, urging the students to leave the war zone. The knights engage in combat with the demonic beings, employing a combination of magic and melee attacks to great effect. Taking advantage of the situation, Yuki and Yui flee the scene. Once safe, they are addressed by the king, who refers to them as foreign heroes and expresses gratitude for their arrival during the kingdom's time of need. The students learn that the kingdom is under attack by demons, similar to a war that occurred 5 years prior. The king's advisor reveals that the previous war was won thanks to a hero from 5 years ago, but unbeknownst to them, that hero was none other than Yuki. The advisor pleads with the students to aid their nation in fighting the demons once again. Although the students are concerned about their lack of combat experience, they agree to assist in any way possible rather than risk being expelled from the kingdom. After being dismissed for the day, the students are instructed to get some much-needed rest. Despite this, Yui remains on edge, but Yuki manages to calm her down, promising to keep her safe. The following day, the students begin training with both swords and magic. They attempt to replicate the knight's techniques, but with little success, except for Yui, who displays a natural talent for magic. Yuki, on the other hand, tries to avoid training and slack off, but his attempts are quickly halted by a royal knight named Elka. Although Yuki knows Elka from before, she is unaware of his true identity. Yuki's casual demeanor and disrespect towards her annoys her. However, his temper reminds her of a hero from 5 years ago. Elka warns Yuki that this world is far more dangerous than he thinks, and he must train to survive or she will make him. Yuki welcomes the challenge. As Elka draws her wooden sword and dashes towards Yuki, he easily dodges her attack and slaps her bottom, making her squirm. Upon realizing that Yuki is none other than Setsusama, the hero of the previous war, Elka's demeanor changes completely. She is head over heels for him and is willing to do anything for him, even allowing herself to be used as a chair. Despite her unusual behavior, she acknowledges Yuki as her one and only master, revealing her true masochistic nature. Another knight, Gun, spots them and is quite confused by the situation. Elka quickly explains that Yuki is none other than Setsusama and Gun accepts it quickly, seeing Elkan adoration for Yuki. The knights relay the news to Thea, but she is already aware of Yuki's summoning to their world, leaving the two dumbfounded. Despite his altered appearance, Thea easily recognizes his magic power, which is her strong suit. Yuki has returned as promised, blushing slightly, and the others are happy to see him. He wonders what is going on because he was sure he had dealt with the demons in the past. They go outside, and everyone questions him about his different appearance and where he had been. Yuki is uncertain himself after his battle with the demon Lord Toma. He was reborn into a different world but kept his memories and magic power. Then he got summoned to this world again, and it doesn't seem like a coincidence. Yuki wants to know what happened to Toma and whether he is behind all of this since Toma is the only one who could use curses like that. After their battle, they couldn't find either him or Toma's body. However, since Yuki is alive, Toma could still be alive as well. Upon being interrupted by a soldier, Yuki and the others learn that the king needs gloomy. Despite Yuki's previous desire to travel the world after the war, he now wishes to maintain the peaceful scenery. However, he remains confused about Toma's intentions. At the king's palace, he regrets making peace with demons and is now declaring an all-out war on them. Gloomy suggests waiting for the emissary they sent to arrive and understand the situation, but the king's aide explains that the demons started the unprovoked invasion, and the summoning of the heroes is proof that justice is on their side. Gloomy is dismayed, but the council agrees with the king's decision. Yuki worked hard to achieve peace, but the king feels that upholding it now would be foolish. Yui is making impressive progress with her training, and Yuki is there to praise her. It is clear that she has a natural talent for magic. Despite her aversion to conflict, Yui is willing to learn magic in order to protect Yuki, which makes him grateful for such a reliable friend. The knights approach Yuki, and Gloomy informs him that an all-out war seems to be inevitable. At this point, Yuki realizes that he will have to intervene once again to stop the war, especially if Toma is behind it. War is foolish and must be prevented. The knights offer to be his personal guard once again, but Yuki declines. He knows that enough fighting force must stay in the capital. They cannot argue with him. Before he embarks on his mission, Yuki needs to retrieve something from the palace that belongs to him. He plans to obtain it peacefully using invisibility magic. However, Elka lacks patience and isn't inclined towards peaceful measures. As long as no one finds out. As Yui makes her way downstairs, she senses Yuki's presence but assumes it's just her imagination. Yuki makes his way to the palace treasury where he is reunited with his trusty sword. However, their escape plan is cut short when guards discover the unconscious guard and start mobilizing. In the midst of the commotion, Gloomy and Thea offer to create a distraction while Yuki and Elka make their way out. Elka wishes Yuki a safe journey and promises to buy them as much time as possible. As Yuki is about to leave, Yui runs up calling his name. Not wanting him to leave, Yuki explains to her that he was summoned to this world for the second time and in order to stop the impending war, he needs to meet with an old acquaintance. Although Yui begs to accompany him, he knows it is too dangerous and assures her that he will return for her. She comes closer and when closes his eyes, gives him a stylish haircut with her magic. He challenges her to dodge his flick when he returns, as a test of her skills, and she promises to do her best to become stronger and protect him. With that, Yuki sets off to find Toma and put an end to the war. Please subscribe for more.